Let's open this with something most people never consider. When we talk about World War II, we focus on battles, leaders, strategies, and front lines. But behind every victory and every loss, there were millions of civilians fighting a quieter war, not with rifles, but with resourcefulness. Their survival depended on simple tools that rarely make it into documentaries. Tools that turn shortages into solutions and chaos into a routine they could live with. And if you're serious about history, you know the real lessons usually come from the people history forgot to mention. So, before we begin, if you value this level of content, remember that 70% of viewers aren't subscribed. Don't be one of them. Now let's get into the gear that truly kept families alive. Fourth, the sewing kit deserves more respect than it gets. Clothing wasn't disposable during World War II. A single pair of trousers might last a child 3 years through constant patching. Mothers and grandmothers used sewing kits to extend the life of fabric in ways modern people rarely appreciate. Families turned blankets into coats, curtains into dresses, and damaged uniforms into children's wear. Anyone applying this today should learn 3 fundamental stitches: running stitch, backstitch, and blanket stitch. Those alone kept half of Europe clothed under rationing. Food preservation jars were another quiet lifeline. Governments encouraged canning because it reduced strain on supply chains, and families who mastered the technique could survive longer between ration distributions. During the siege of Leningrad, canning jars saved lives when markets collapsed. In Britain, they kept gardens productive year-round. If you want real insight, try canning a simple batch of vegetables and storing them for 6 months. It teaches you the same patience and discipline wartime households lived by. Sixth, the coal shovel and stove tools might seem mundane, but reliable heat was a survival condition. Coal shortages meant families used every scrap of burnable material. Tools for managing stoves, shovels, pokers, ash pans, were essential for making the smallest fuel supply last through the winter. Reenactors today often practice ration-style heating by limiting themselves to set amounts of wood or fuel per day. It's an uncomfortable experiment, but it mirrors the real constraints people faced. The 7th tool was the portable radio. Even when governments censored broadcasts, radios kept families connected to news, weather, and wartime announcements. Radios warned citizens of air raids, informed them about ration rules, and gave them a sense of being part of a broader struggle. Maintaining one required spare batteries, careful storage, and sometimes clandestine listening. The modern equivalent is having reliable communication backups, crank radios, battery packs, and clear protocols for staying informed when infrastructure fails. These tools weren't luxuries. They were the infrastructure of civilian survival. Families who mastered them didn't just endure the war, they shaped a culture of resilience we still learn from. If you're a serious history buff or a survival-minded learner, study how ordinary people applied these tools, because their methods remain relevant. And if you found value in this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this video with others who appreciate real history, and help keep these stories alive.